Every couple wants their wedding to stand out, and one of the easiest ways to create a just for us is using a centuries-old tradition. And here with show and tell is KC wedding expert and author of Wonderfilled Weddings, Michael Nolte. Mr. Nolte, it's a pleasure of always chat with you. And before we get into that, I am curious about how current events are playing on your business, because I know a lot of the wedding dresses that we get come from outside of the U.S. Right. I mean, the CDC is advising people not to gather in groups larger than 50s. We've seen your photos from time and time again here on the show. You throw parties and wedding parties for thousands of people.
Much larger than 50.
What?
Yes.
How is this affecting your business, and then also brides? What are your brides panicking? Are they wondering what they should be doing here in the next few weeks?
You know, fortunately, the brides are not really panicking. Mm-hmm. They're disappointed, but they're not angry at anyone other than the situation.
Yeah.
And so if they had a reception venue that has to be closed for the next 8 weeks, there's no one to be angry at, mm-hmm. and they're just choosing a different reception venue for later on.
Yeah. So are they pushing the entire wedding back, or they're still trying to get married on that day but push the reception back?
A little of both.
Yeah.
You know, the city is allowing groups of 50 mm-hmm. For weddings and funerals. And so my advice to brides is think about the weddings that have happened during the SARS virus, the swine flu. I was coordinating lots of weddings right after 9/11 happened. That was on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
We dressed 9 brides on that Saturday.
The following Saturday, really?
Yeah, within 4 days.
My goodness.
And I was coordinating a wedding. There were bridesmaids who couldn't fly in. Flights were delayed. The groom's mother was coming in from Canada. She made it in time for the reception, but the wedding went on. Mm-hmm. So my advice to brides really is to focus on what's important.
Yeah.
And it is about your partner and not so much about the party.
Yeah. Good advice. Mm-hmm. We appreciate that. So let's get into why you're here today. We're really talking about monograms and how they can just add a little something extra to your wedding. I know you're monogrammed up here today. You brought out everything from your head to your toe here. Why don't you showcase a little bit of what you got and kind of tell us about the history of the monogram?
Yeah, the signet ring, which used to fit on this finger, was a gift from my wife when I opened one of my stores. Yes. I don't know why it doesn't fit on that ring. But signet rings are the monogram of usually a king or a pope. And the only person that could wear this and then press it in hot wax to be their official seal was their monogram.
Oh, okay.
So I have a signet ring. A lot of my clothes are tailored with monograms here on the cuff. Mm-hmm. My socks even are monogrammed on this side over here. Interesting thing about how monograms are placed is that this is an old British tradition that has now become very Southern as well. If a gentleman is using all 3 initials, Michael Joseph Nolte, mm-hmm. that the M, J, N are all the exact same size and they're in that order.
Okay.
Now on my socks, which we can't get a close in on that, the N is larger in the middle and the M and the J are small on either side.
Okay, so what does that mean if it's?
The middle initial, if it's larger, is the surname.
Is the surname. Okay,
mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And then you're obviously a weddings protocol expert. What's some guidelines to follow when we want to combine initials?
Mm-hmm. Well, to begin with is that many times people will send out wedding invitations that have all 3 initials on the top, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not supposed to be there because they are not yet legally a couple, like the one we see here on the lining of that envelope. And that is a legal couple because that's an invitation envelope going out for my own 40th wedding anniversary celebration. My wife's first name is Barbie, and I'm, of course, Michael. I thought if Belinda and I were doing the interview today, I said, Belinda, this could be us. It could be Belinda and Michael, and Nolte would be in the middle. So we've got a big end.
So
it could be Bill.
It could be Bill.
It could be Bill and Michael.
I'm
it's the new
fine
age.
with that too. You know, why not?
Either one of you.
But. So it's not appropriate to use the combined initials on the invitation only for your anniversaries or for subsequent things after you're legally married.
Which could be that day. So
Sure.
That means like the menu cards at the reception would have all 3 initials on it.
Oh, yeah.
The cocktail napkins at the bar, a very essential part of a reception, the mm-hmm. bar, has all 3 initials on it. The thank you notes afterwards would have all 3 initials on it.
And I think, are these some of your thank you notes here?
Those are actually a wedding program that's folded, and then again, that was before the legal ceremony,
yeah.
and then the invitation right behind it. so that we use just the C and the D for Chelsea and Dylan.
Oh, okay. Well, how else might a couple want to personalize their wedding with the use of monograms?
A lot of times we see it on dance floors, which is beautiful.
Oh, like with the light spotlighter?
That's called a gobo, or sometimes we actually paint it on the dance floor. We'll probably see a picture of that. It's another place is to put it on cakes, and so sometimes we'll have a cake top that's done with their monogram, or it's emblazoned on the sides of the cake. I've even thought it would be really cool to do monograms of the bridesmaids on the wide satin streamers that come off of their bouquets.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then use that,
too.
clip that nice ribbon out and use that as a bookmark with the bride's wedding date underneath of it.
Well, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you for coming in and chatting with us a little bit about it. And we hope everything is going to turn out. And I hope your brides are I know, disappointed, but we sure hope the best for them.
In a way, this is fluff knowledge in times that are not so fluffy, but I'm glad I could bring just a little levity to the day. And it's good knowledge to know.
All right, Michael, thank you very much, sir.